Live. It's 8:56, please. Yeah, that sounds like a snap.
It's live. It was.
Yeah, that sounds like a snap.
It was.
Mm-hmm. What should we talk about tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know? We're going to have an audience here. We're going to talk about something.
Yeah.
Goodness, looks like I'm on.
Yep, you got your crew on there too. It's about 7 viewers so far.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Rhonda Gainey.
Rhonda Gainey's brand new to me.
Okay.
I just met Miss Rhonda Gainey through Facebook, and I noticed she's friends with Gary and Dion and a few other people that I noticed on her page. So it's good to meet you, Miss Rhonda Gainey.
That's good.
Miss Rhonda Gainey, and everyone else that's on, I do this each Monday night. And this is my 16th show. 16th show. So 4 months now. 4 months. And if you go to YouTube, if you go to my videos on my page, you'll see a very rich, what do you need to do?
You're cutting off your head
Where
every
you
time
stand?
where you are.
Okay.
Back there. Kim Sweet.
You know you can lower it down. Kim Soup, yes.
I can raise it up only so far.
But you can lower it down too.
And then I'll cut off all of your head.
We don't want to cut off my head, okay?
Okay.
Hello, Kim. How you doing out of Raleigh? Miss World Traveler. Have passport, will travel. Kim, she has a full-time job, but she's never at her job. She's always on some beach or some foreign land.
Treva.
Hello, Treva. We enjoyed you last week, Treva. Thank you for coming back. Treva, what should we talk about?
Elizabeth Coley Lutz.
Hello, Sister Elizabeth. How you doing?
Darlene Fleming.
What's up, Darlene? Darlene's becoming like family.
Y'all.
I have my phone come and do a Google search on one of my articles. I've written several articles over the years. And Best Books on Sales. Best Books on Sales by Brian McNeill.
Okay. The Best Books on Sale by Brian McNeill.
By Brian McNeill.
Sabrina Huff is on.
Hello, Miss Sabrina Huff. How you doing?
Darlene said, yes, sir. You can't get rid of me now.
I don't want to get rid of you.
I wish that I had put this little blanket in the dryer. Like you heated up the sweater for me.
Okay.
We rocking. Hey, Sabrina.
It's 8:59.
Treva said, I'm good with whatever. Always learn something.
She always learns something? This is what it looks like on the article. Actually, the version, I submitted it myself, but the version that you find on Google first is, there's a group on Facebook, a very big group on Facebook called Black Life Coaches. And I submitted an article to their website, and that is the one that Google finds first. Isn't that funny?
Still yours.
It's still mine. Yeah, it still has me. Oh, my theme song. Gaining momentum.
Oh,
Gaining momentum. 9 o'clock. Gaining momentum. Gaining momentum. Start. Let's go ahead and turn that down a little bit, please. All right. This time now is Monday Night Sales Mastery. Welcome to all my friends, old and new. Every Monday night, we do a Monday Night Sales Mastery where I, the sales coach, teach something on how to help you to sell yourself and your services better than you ever have before so that you could earn more money than ever before.
absolutely. And after his show at 9:30 is Woman to Woman on Facebook Live on Lisa Santiago's page. And tonight I'll be talking to speakers and authors about getting out there and getting in front of the audience.
Is tonight going to be just for women as well?
We have had so many men sneak on. They can join us tonight as well.
I'm a speaker and an author. That's why
absolutely.
I asked,
We're not digging into the heart tonight. So yes, the men can stay.
Okay, anyway.
But thanks, Sadie.
No problem. You have your plug in. The reason why I consider myself authorized to do this. I have helped thousands of men and women to sell better. I've got hundreds of testimonial letters of the effectiveness of my services. I've made thousands of sales and I've missed thousands of them. I've personally read more than 700 books on how to sell better. And that doesn't take into account all the seminars, workshops, CDs, tapes I've listened to, DVDs I've watched. And when you invest that much into yourself and you get a chance to practice it so much, you develop philosophies. You develop philosophies. Now, tonight we're going to talk about becoming a sales champion, the resources. Now, first off, becoming a sales champion, you cannot do it alone. You cannot become a sales champion in your own strength. You must have help. No one does this alone. We all get some help. Now, very quickly, when I began my journey, I was 23 years old, and I was horrible at sales for about 8 months until I discovered a book on how to sell. My first sales trainers were from a book. The company I was hired for did not train at all, but I stumbled upon a book like this. This is the first book I picked up on sales. It's called How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. This book saved my life when it comes to business. Now, the cool thing about this book, there's a couple of things. Two things that's particularly cool about this book. One thing is his face is on the cover of his book. And as I read this book and looking at this man's face that I had never met before, he kind of became my partner in business. I would look at his face and I was like, okay, Tom, and I'll kind of have a conversation with Tom Hopkins. Now, when I bought this book, oh man, probably 1990, maybe 1990, the first time I bought it. And this has been, I replaced it when I first bought it because it was all dog-eared and highlighted. It was terrible looking. But at the time, I had bought a brand new 1988 Hyundai Excel, okay? And the car was a little hatchback, and it was so small that I was able to, on a sales call, I would be able to pull my car up into some shade, read my book, and then go like this to put it underneath the seat of the passenger side. I didn't even hardly have to reach hardly, just put it underneath the seat. But Tom became my helper. The one cool thing about this book is on page 4 of this book. I haven't picked up this book in a while, but I know on page 4 what it says. Because on page 4, it says, why you cannot fail in sales. And at the time I read that, I really needed somebody to tell me why I can't fail in sales, because I was failing and no one was telling me why I can't fail in sales. And this book did that for me. So the first resource I'm going to recommend is How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins, and it's a book. Now,
Jayr is watching.
Jay Rain, yes.
Okay, and Yasmin is on, and she said, awesome. Now, and we're still getting some happy anniversaries, so thank you.
Now, when I first picked up sales, we didn't have the internet like we do now. I've been in professional sales more than 26 years. So, but now, because we are today, now we have websites that I love to help me study. One of the books I was reading told me in the beginning that you should study your craft at least 30 minutes a day. So from between 30 minutes to an hour every day before I left my home, I would read a page at a time because I wanted to get good. I was in straight commission sales. So if we didn't make sales, we didn't eat. And I had a wife and 2 toddlers, and my wife didn't work outside the home. So all the money was dependent on young brother Brian. I had to bring home the bacon. If I didn't bring home the bacon, she ain't had nothing to fry in the pan. It was 100% straight commission. That's just how it went. So I couldn't afford to miss. I couldn't afford to not become good. And you know what? Today, excellence is assumed by the marketplace. Your clients that you call on, they assume everybody is pretty good at it. In order for you to win today, you don't win by, listen to me carefully, you don't win sales today by being better than the other guy or the other company. You don't win sales today by building a better mousetrap. This is a Brian McNeill philosophy. That's not how you win sales today. You win sales today by being able to sell it better. Now, someone who knows how to sell better than you, even if they have an inferior service, or an inferior product, but they know how to sell better, they will make more money than you. That's a harsh reality of life, but that's just what it is. You don't win by being better, you win by selling better. Anyone want to shoot holes in that theory? Anyone want to amen that theory? Let me know. Now, there are 2 websites that I recommend that you guys spend some time on. 2. And I'm going to want someone to please post these websites. But the first website that I recommend everyone become a part of is the website called sellingpower.com. Sellingpower.com. It's an amazing wealth of resources. Sellingpower.com is amazing. When I first discovered it, was Selling Power magazine. Now it's not a magazine anymore, it's just a website. Selling Power by Gerhard Schwantner. He's the publisher of this website. Gerhard Schwantner, GWS whatever. But he's another one of my heroes in sales.
GWS whatever?
Schwantner, Gerhard Schwantner, that's his name.
Thank you, Damona and Darlene and Elizabeth, for all putting the website up there.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. We got some amens as well. Bill Brown is on.
That website has everything. Everything?
Everything.
Everything. You're not going to run out of stuff there that's intriguing. Now, if you want to get better in your game, to me, sellingpower.com is an essential resource. Sellingpower.com. I recommend that one. And the other one that I recommend for sales training, a lot of us are familiar with, but don't use it for this purpose. The other one that I recommend that I use every day is YouTube.com. YouTube.com, you can learn all kinds of stuff. Now, truth be told, some of the stuff on YouTube is not as good as some of the other stuff. Selling Power, all that stuff is good. Well, on YouTube, you can find some people that you can align with. Let's say you have a problem with prospecting. Let's say you have a problem with asking for the money. You might know of a great sales trainer like Jeffrey Gitomer. You might fall in love with his stuff. Or Victor Antonio. Or even the best one today, a guy named Brian K. McNeill, because he's still in the trenches. You pull up Brian K. McNeill, I've got 70 video clips on YouTube right now. 70 of them. So you can learn, and some of the videos are short, like a minute and a half, and some of them as long as an hour and some change. But most of them, 6 to 8 minutes, and then lately, the last 16 of them have all been about 30 minutes long. But this is just free information that you can get. There's just a lot of stuff. YouTube.com, you can be very, very specific about what you want to learn. So I recommend sellingpower.com and YouTube.com. Now, if it's someone that I know, someone that I love, someone that I wanted to ensure they're successful in business, someone that I really cared for, the first book I always recommend that they read is this little gem right here. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's a very little, thin book. The author is a guy named Og Mandino, Ogmandino.
My favorite.
Don't let the title throw you. The title says, The Greatest Salesman in the World. My wife does not consider herself a salesman. She didn't at first. But I asked her to read the book, and she did read the book, and she found this book application for life applications.
Absolutely
Universal. Go ahead and give you an endorsement of the book.
Absolutely. That book is not just universal truths in there for reading. It's also universal for self-improvement.
Okay.
Anyone that is worth their salt is reading something that helps them to move forward, advance, challenge their mind, create good habits and all of that. And that book completely knocks it out of the park.
Thank you. I always recommend this book first because I believe that this book does the best job out of all the books of preparing your mind to be great.
Absolutely. Donna Dee Harrison, thank you for sharing the video.
Thank you. This book prepares you mentally to be great, the way you need to think about being great. It's Christian based, and it uses some Bible parallels. But don't let that throw you. The Greatest Salesman in the World, I believe, is an essential read. Essential. Now, The next resource, so far we've talked about how to master the art of selling. We've talked about the greatest sales in the world. We've talked about 2 websites so far. We've talked about sellingpower.com and we've talked about youtube.com. You also have personal people in your life that you know are successfully selling and you know can be helpful to you. You should meet these people in a favorable way. You should meet champions in a favorable way. In a favorable way, meet them in such a way that you're not just to be a taker. Okay, you're there to be helpful and friendly in a favorable way.
Thank you for all of the contents. And Bill Brown also endorses the book. Great book to help with the mindset.
Yes. Now, I used to talk to salespeople and I used to tell them all the time, the broke guys in here should take the guys out that are making the money. You should buy him lunch. Okay, you should buy them lunch. You should buy me lunch one time. Because the one who's succeeding can teach you something that's way worth more than what you're paying lunch for. Okay? Another suggestion. Now, the next book that I consider an essential book, it's not a sales book. It's not. But I think it also has life applications that help you to become great, and it's an essential. The book is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, this book, I think chapter 2 of the book is talking about 6 ways to make people like you. How do you begin with agreement? How you seek to understand before you become understood.
One of my favorites, absolutely.
One of your favorite concepts. Yeah. First, any kind of dispute, it also teaches you if there's ever a dispute, you have to assume that both sides are at least partially right, or there'll be no basis for the argument. So the winner of the argument should seek to understand where the other person is coming from before they attempt to be understood.
Thank you for the notes, Damone. I appreciate it.
Seek to understand before you become understood. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, an essential resource. Mm-hmm. Some of these books I'm sure casting for you tonight are older books, but there's nothing better than them today.
Mm-hmm. Jay says, when are you ready for lunch?
Holler at a brother. Now,
call me when you need someone to talk to.
This is one of the books that changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
The cover is black, but I don't have the cover anymore. I hope I can showcase for you how much of this book I've highlighted. Okay, I hope that comes across on camera. It's called The Art of Closing Any Deal by James W. Pickens. The Art of Closing Any Deal. Now, this book is all about how to close sales. Back in the 90s when I got my start, I thought the key to becoming a sales champion was learning how to close sales. So I studied closing a lot. And this book, oh my gosh, this book talks about how to sell to the different type of professions. It talks about how to sell, and this might not sound cool to some people, but it also talks about how to sell to the different races of people. The different age ranges of people, the different professions of people.
Teresa Jones is on. Angela Simpson. Bill has a question.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you think the technology is making the salesperson lazy or not doing all he can to get the sale?
He's right. And I think about this a lot, Bill. Thanks for the question. I think the technology is creating more and more mediocre and poor salespeople.
We don't want no mediocre. We don't want no mediocre.
It's a fair question because the lure is so tantalizing. If you just get the right technology, you don't have to actually talk to people. I had a gentleman reach out to me Saturday, was it? When I was telling you about, I had to ask him 5 different times. I said, so what do you do for a living? And he gave me an answer, and I didn't understand what he did. So I let him go on, and then I asked him again a different way. And I asked him again a different way, and I'm keeping track. And I said, now look, man. And he interrupted me. He goes, look, I know I'm sounding vague, but I put more time into my website than I put into telling people what I do.
Oh, yes.
That's what he said to me.
Yes.
I put more time on my website, so if you'll write down this website, or if you'll go to my website, I says, no. I said, do you want me to pick up your dry cleaning too? I've asked you 5 times, what do you do for a living? And you keep you're not giving me any answers, and then you gave me a task to do. Bill, that's what the lure of technology is doing, is giving people less and less practice of actually talking to people. So, but you can do that. And because people are getting less and less good at it, anyone that's good at it at all stands out from the crowd and wins the business. So that's a fair question. Now, ideally, you would use technology, but don't lose your skill of actually talking to people. You want the high tech, yes, but you still need today the high touch. High tech and high touch wins. The Art of Closing Any Deal will teach. It taught me. Lisa, you've read the book lately,
Yes.
just recently.
Just recently.
What's your feeling on it?
I actually thought that it drew a lot of parallels with Sales Dogs.
Okay.
I was telling you that
Yes,
before.
you did tell me that.
Yeah, so the parallels with Sales Dogs, which I read first and I really enjoy, and that is identifying what your sales strength is and sort of operating within the comfort and authenticity of who you are. And then using the skills that they share to identify who you're speaking with and to be relatable to them while still being authentic to yourself.
Yes. Thank you. You got a pretty good, I think because you're such a woman, you had that perspective.
I can't help it.
You had a womanly perspective on that book. Because that book is rough. It's raw. It's hardcore.
It is, but you actually thought that I might be thrown because
I did
it
think
does
you was gonna be
talk.
thrown, yeah.
It does talk a lot about how you talk to the different races and how you interact with them. But I actually, in earnest, believe that there are different ways to interact with different people. I don't speak the same way. To use another example, with my children that I do with adults. So
Right.
there's nothing wrong with speaking to whom you're speaking.
Amen.
Amen.
In our PC culture, I thought it would throw some people.
No. Teresa said that seems lame. I don't know when she made that comment. I'm sorry. Thank you for giving us the skills from Bill. And Teresa says, sorry, yes, we need good personal technique. And she says, I like that, and that is true. So
Now, the next book I'm going to tell you about is called Hardball Selling.
it's 9:18.
Hardball, thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hardball Selling by Robert L. Shook. I became a big fan of Robert L. Shook. I started reading everything he wrote. Okay? Now, this book today, I'm not sure, that's my couching of it, I'm not sure I can sell today the way this book taught me how to sell. But what this book taught me was how to make money. When I first picked up this book, Hardball Selling by Robert L. Shook, the first week of that month, I picked up this book and I started reading it. I had no sales. I was selling home improvement. Typical commission was going to be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,600 a sale when you made one. The first week I had no sales. This is in the 90s. The second week I only had a half a sale. That means I had to split it with another salesperson. But by the end of the month, I had 8.5 sales. Okay? And I owe all of it to one concept I got out of this book. You know, the concept of when you're talking to a client and the client is on the fence and they're not sure about what to do. Should they buy or not buy? Should they move forward or not do it at all? This book was talking about, although some people might feel like you're damned if you do or damned if you don't, if you don't push them into doing it. Look, let's go ahead and do it now, or I'm not going to come back. Okay, this is it. Go for the sale that time. That's what this book talks about. He explained to me in a way that I could get it that you're only damned if you don't. You're not damned if you do. You're only damned if you don't. And what it taught me was I just did whatever the book said. I started saying to people, no, I'm not going to come back. I'm going to do this tonight or not at all. Okay, I'll say, no problem. If you say no, you get to keep what you have. You get to keep the problems that you have, and I'm going to keep going. That's it. And just by giving people, I used to tell them up front because of what this book told me. Look, I'm going to offer this to you the best way I can. If you like it, you want to do it, tell me yes, and that's great. If you don't like it, you don't want to do it, tell me no, that's fine. I'm a big boy, I've been told no a lot of times. But whatever you do, don't tell me maybe. Maybes are just extended no's, and I'd rather you say no. Fair enough? Now, in the presentation, everyone says, fair enough. And I wouldn't let them get away with telling me maybe. I made them tell me no or yes. And my sales skyrocketed. It was amazing how that works. Now, I'm not sure I can get away with that today, but I am telling you this resource because there is some nuggets in here that you may need to adopt. today, going back to Bill's question, today the pendulum has swung so far back that most salespeople today, fully 9 out of 10 of them, are so wimpy. They are so wimpy. There might even be some wimpy salespeople on this broadcast right now.
Wimpy.
And they don't mean to be wimpy. When I call it wimpy, it's refusing to ask for the money. They won't even ask at all. They'll just tell what they do, but they never say, will you hire me? Will you give me a try? Will you give me a check? Because they don't want to offend anyone. That wimpiness is costing you money. How we doing on time?
You're doing good. 9:22.
Oh, Lord. We don't have much time.
8 minutes.
All right. I have 7 more books over there I wanted to cover, but I'm not going to cover 7 more.
All right.
But I'm going to cover this one.
Gary Smith is watching. Hey, Gary.
What's up, Gary?
Teresa Jones says, wimpy salespeople. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Endless Referrals by Bob Berg is another life-changing book. This is the book that taught me the concept of always putting my picture on my business card.
Wow.
That's what this book talks about. Your picture your face is more important than your logo. That's what this book talks about. How do you get endless referrals? What's that?
Bill Brown said that his hang-up is being too pushy.
Is it really? Now, it's only too pushy if the client ever thinks that you are being too pushy. Is because you did it incorrectly. Okay? I'm very pushy, but they never think I'm pushy. They never think it because I'm doing it the right way. The pressure that you use is the clients pressuring themselves.
Yes.
If you are the one applying the pressure, you're doing it incorrectly. You can ask questions that cause the clients to pressure themselves, Bill, and anyone else. I don't have the right to bully or push the client. But I do have the right to ask a client, if you don't do this, what will you do?
Absolutely.
Okay? Now that puts a lot of pressure on them. If I don't do this, what will I do? That's pressure they're putting on themselves. That's not me saying, you should have did it by now. I can't say that.
That's right. That's right.
Bob Berg, in this book
Endless Referrals.
There's one sentence I'm going to give you out of this book. It's called the Golden Referral Question. The Golden Referral Question. I want someone to please write it down on there. The Golden Referral Question. The Golden Referral Question is, if I'm talking to someone, Jay, if I'm out talking to someone, how would I know if the person I'm talking to is a good referral for you? This is a question you ask at networking functions. You get the chance to meet someone, and you ask them, Lisa, if I'm out somewhere talking to somebody, how would I know if the person I'm talking to is a good referral for you? Now, you ask that question and earnestly get an answer to that question because the law of reciprocation still works. That causes them to want to ask you, well, how about you? How would I know if someone I'm talking to is a good referral for you? That is an awesome exchange there.
Absolutely. Dr. Tammy is on.
Hello, Dr. Tammy. Endless Referral is a life-changing book. Now, I've read so many books, but the one I wish I had read in the beginning, when I first started, is this book here. It's called The Shortcut by Brian K. McNeill. That's me. I wrote this book. This is the best I could come up with of all I know in a very concise format. This is a nuts and bolts of what to do. If you sell an intangible service, if you will do what this book says to do, you will earn more money next month than you're earning this month. This teaches you what to do when you don't have a client in front of you. This teaches you why you don't need endless supplies of leads. This teaches you how to create your own market so you don't have to buy leads or look out for leads all the time. This teaches you how to nurture the leads you already have. The shortcut, the fastest route to selling your services better than you ever have before so you can earn more money than before, by Brian K. McNeill. I highly endorse this book, maybe because I like the author so much.
I highly endorse that book.
Why?
And I love the author, but that has nothing to do with that. I'm the publisher. That has nothing to do with that. Actually, I publish other books. Actually, I have other books that I love as well, but this particular book I used even before I use it with my clients. I use it while I'm on the phone, while I'm doing virtual discovery sessions, as a reference. I wish mine was handy because you can see mine. It has tabs and highlights and everything else because it is so cut and dried. It's so easy to follow that it just enhances what it is that I do.
People have been telling me that more and more. They like the things they have to do. This gives you some stuff to do. Okay, time yourself. People like that so much. Because you won't be the same if you read this book.
Sammy Robinson is on. Thank you. And taking notes. Thank you.
Hello. Now, the shortcut is the best route, but it doesn't cover how to close sales. So I also wrote...
Sammy says, is there really a shortcut? Sammy, yes, there is.
There's a shortcut, yes.
Yes,
okay?
yes, there is.
The shortcut is, there's a lot of fluff in sales. For example, tonight, I had a phone call from a guy I like personally, but I don't like taking his call because he's going to have me on the phone a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I don't know what he wants when he gets on the phone with me. That's what wears me out with him. He's got me on the phone 2.5 minutes. Look, man, what do you want, man? I'm doing stuff. What do you want? Tell me. He wants to do all this fluffy stuff first. Ugh.
Now, this book, the one that you're holding, was more instrumental in raising my bottom line.
Okay.
Than the other one. The shortcut helped me to navigate through the beginnings with my clients, how to reach out, how to really connect, find out what it is that I'm doing when you got 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
But asking for the money is what didn't just help me to close the sale, but to keep the close.
Okay. Asking for the money. How anyone can close more sales, even you, is designed to give people confidence when it comes to asking for money, especially for people who don't feel like they're very good at it.
Sophia Nichols. And Sammy says, got it.
Sophia Nichols, another champion life coach, okay? That's what this book is designed to do, give you confidence. This teaches you how to ask for the money. This teaches you a 5-step process of overcoming any objection. This makes it a whole lot easier for you to overcome objections and all that. The last book I'm going to say real quick is How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success. I did a whole video on this book right here because it teaches you to double your enthusiasm. Act like you want to get it.
928.
It's 928. My name is Brian K. McNeill. My phone number is 919-345-4893. And 30 minutes on every single Monday. This is my 16th one. I can't cover everything that I want to. I still got 6 more books over there on the table I wanted to cover tonight. But on every Wednesday, people that are part of my private Facebook group, they get a deep dive with me. And we do it in a group format where we can ask Q&A, and I can do a whole lot more through my private Facebook group. And I make that available to anyone that wants to take part in it. The private Facebook group, to get access to it, I charge for that. Because my private Facebook group, you're going to get a lot of stuff. Okay? But I charge $25 a month for that. $25 a month. If you want it, reach out to me, Brian K. McNeill or Lisa Santiago McNeill. If you will call my number, 919-345-4893. Anyone who calls me, I will give you a free sales consultation. It'll be about 10, 15, 20 minutes on the phone. And I know in that shorter time period, I can be helpful to you and your sales. What time is it?
It's time. 9:29.
I appreciate all the comments. I'm going to stop right now because my wife's about to launch into her show. If anyone reaches out to me on Facebook, Brian Keith McNeill on Facebook, or call my number, 919-345-4893, or take part in my private groups, I look forward to being helpful to you. God bless you. Have a good night. There it is.